Hi, I'm ShunpeterZ. Welcome to Zero Point Note, a podcast where we dive into the nature of consciousness and the mysterious reality as seen from the zero point field, the source field of everything. Right now, I'm broadcasting from Tokyo, near the famous Shibuya Scramble Crossing. As you can see, English isn't my native language, but something deeper started speaking through me, through my encounters with this field, and a strange consciousness that one day just appeared, calling itself Z. I've come to see the world very differently now, and I'm here to share that journey with you. I was actually planning to begin a new series on the human body as a temple, but something nudged me to share what I call a backstory episode first, because this backstory may actually serve as an important piece of the puzzle when I get into the temple. If you have been listening to this podcast for a while, there's a good chance you've already begun to sense it. There are no coincidences in this world. Everything is connected. Everything has a reason. The things you're experiencing now, the people you pass on the street, the annoying sales call that shows up out of nowhere, even the cockroach crawling out from under the fridge. All of these are projections, rendered experiences, filtered through your own beliefs, thoughts, memories, and emotions. If that's true, then even more fundamental things like your family, gender, physical body, or your name might not be coincidence either. And that brings me to today's theme. Why did I choose a Japanese avatar? I'm beginning to truly believe that even our nationality, even the language we're born into, may have been consciously selected by our observing self, what I call the eye consciousness. So before we enter the Body Temple series, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on this Japanese avatar I came into this life with. And let me be clear first, this is not a nationalistic episode. I'm not here to say rise up Japan or Japan is a model for the world. Everything I say comes from a place of neutrality, the middle path. And that's actually one of the key attributes I associate with the Japanese OS. Let me share a bit about my personal journey. When I was younger, I was heavily influenced by American culture. I saw the movie Wall Street in a college economics class, probably because a professor didn't feel like lecturing that day, and I was captivated. Gordon Gekko, in his tailored black suit and red tie, ruthless demand ideals. Money is everything. Michael Douglas crushed that low. And yeah, I totally wanted to be that guy. At that time, I didn't even speak English. But I worked hard, learned the language, eventually went to the US grad school, and even joined a Wall Street firm doing M&A advisory, exactly like the movie. Pretty Americanized, right? But then, something unexpected started happening. Around my 30s, I found myself visiting Yasukuni Shrine every year on August 15th. For those outside Japan, this date marks the end of World War II. It wasn't about any specific political ideology. I was just something felt significant. Like there was a presence I needed to honor. This was also around the time I started my own business. As part of Japan's so-called lost generation, I grew up during economic stagnation, where stable jobs are scarce. So I started to question, why is Japan stuck in this economic slump? Who's really pulling the strings? Did something get lost after the war? I was deep into the pendulum swing, from Western ambition to Japanese pride. And that was part of my running. But after all that, what I finally arrived at was this: neither left nor right, neither light nor dark. Both are part of the journey. The world we live in, what they call the marked world, or the NPC realm, is a world of polarity. And to truly understand unity, we have to swing between dualities first. That's what the ego operating system is designed to do. Allow the eye consciousness to experience contrast and learn. And let's talk about what makes the Japanese avatar unique. Geographically, Japan is in a liminal space between East and West, a little removed from mainland Asia by being an island nation, culturally different from both its neighbors and Western world, a true middle point. Historically, Japan carries both roles, aggressor and victim. You can talk about Japan in simple binaries. It embodies complexity. In Chinese Taoist yin-yang symbolism, I feel Japan occupies that little white dot in the black field, or the little black dot in the white, a balance point that contains the seed of the opposite. That, to me, is very ZPF, a nation that sways gently in the middle, that holds both light and dark, that accepts ambiguity. And we see this in the culture, reading the air, finding meanings in silence, leaving things undefined. To many outside Japan, these traits can feel frustrating or vague. But from a ZPF standpoint, they might actually represent a high form of vibrational intelligence. Instead of drawing hard lines, harmony emerges in gradients. Now, let's talk about language. As someone who's worked in the field of language learning for years, I've noticed just how ZPF aligned Japanese is. It's vowel-based, softer, more resonant. Sentences are quantum, meaning isn't locked in until the end. For example, yesterday, in the park, what he saw was still open. The structure is flexible, agglutinative with interchangeable word order. Subjects often disappear. The I fades away. Ambiguity is allowed. There's space for silence and interpretation. Feeling takes priority over precision. In other words, it's not a language. It's a frequency sharing protocol. So if nothing is coincidence, then being a native speaker of Japanese isn't either. It may mean that I or you chose this complex, nuanced, ZPF-friendly environment precisely because it supports awakening. Here's the thing though, if I chose the Japanese avatar for very specific reasons, then what about you? You may have chosen the American avatar, or British one, or the Filipino, the Brazilian, the Nigerian, or the German one. It doesn't matter where. What matters is every avatar comes with a unique frequency pack, like a starter kit for your reality. A set of cultural beliefs, language codes, and vibrational conditions that shape your reality and why you lessons. So this episode isn't just about Japan. It's really about how the ZPF might have placed you, exactly where your awakening could happen. And sure, learning English as a Japanese speaker is very hard mode. Other languages are more compatible with physical world, structured, linear, spatial. But that also means even something as mundane as Japanese learning can become a gateway to a consciousness. That was true for me. In the end, our reality isn't just shaped by thought, it's shaped by our avatar, the culture OS, the language, the environment. These create the beliefs that shape our world. So choosing the Japanese avatar may have been more than just chance. It may have been a ZPF-level decision. When I speak to you as ShunpeterZ, that's just my current form. The true chooser, I believe it's the I consciousness. Being Japanese isn't just a passport. It might be one style of resonance in the grand ZPF experiment. Alright, that's it for this episode. Next time, we begin our temple series, the brain, fornix, pineal gland, and hippocampus. As the ZPF blueprint, we'll finally step into the architecture of consciousness itself. Thanks for being here. If something in this episode sparked something in you, maybe that's not an accident. Okay, this is ShunpeterZ, now signing off from the 0-point field and going back to the Shibuya crowded street. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, see you again on the defined bandwidth of the field. The version of you that listens next time might be someone new.